representative. And let me tell you, there's going to be a link on drphil.com. There's going to be a link on my Facebook. There's going to be a link on Twitter. I'm going to make it so easy for you to find this, where you can just click and send your message on. So please do that. You can make a difference here. Your voice does matter, and there will be so many children that will be blessed by what you do. I want to thank all of my guests today, and special thanks to TJ Howard and Origins Behavioral Healthcare for offering help to Chris and Katie. And a very special thanks to Congressmember Bass for being here today and continuing to fight for our nation's youth. And Melissa, thank you. I know you were nervous getting up here. She did a great job. Didn't she do a great job? Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Right now at 6, President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration dividing the country. Dozens of lawmakers, such as Marcia Fudge, say they're boycotting. Coming up, why one local mayor says it's important he's there. Plus, Cleveland school employees scammed. What left the district out of more than $100,000? Just in the nick of time, the video that shows one local police officer rescuing 2 women just moments before their car goes up in flames. And honoring Martin Luther King Jr. The acts of service performed here in Northeast Ohio, coming up.
From the station that sees the possible, this is Channel 3 News, brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. You'll be saying, I love my windows. And now, Channel 3 News at 6.
It was the tweet that set off a firestorm on social media. Northeast Ohio Congresswoman Marcia Fudge saying, quote, I will not be attending the inauguration, hashtag, I stand with John Lewis, end quote. Congressman Lewis, a civil rights icon, told NBC's Chuck Todd he doesn't see Trump as a legitimate president. The president-elect fired back, attacking the congressman is being all talk and no action. And that set off a chain reaction. 26 members of Congress now say they will boycott Trump's inauguration. We want to know your thoughts right now at WKYC.com/vote now. We're asking, do you agree with Congresswoman Fudge's decision to boycott the inauguration? And we have results as we get them. They're scrolling at the bottom of the screen. In the meantime, we have learned at least one local mayor says he will be at the inauguration.
Channel 3's Jasmine Monroe talked with him and has one side of this latest controversy.
My family and I are so thrilled to be attending the inauguration of the president.
When Brunswick Mayor Ron Falcone became involved in the Asian Pacific American Advisory Council to the Donald Trump presidential campaign, he never thought it could lead to an invitation to the inauguration, including the parade and the inaugural ball.
It's rare. I mean, I've never been to an inauguration. Obviously, I've seen them on TV, but this is our first time actually going there. So we are really looking forward to it.
Falcone wasn't always a Trump supporter.
I supported him throughout the summer and the fall, and of course, I wanted to make sure that he beat Hillary.
But during the presidential primary campaign, he supported Governor John Kasich's candidacy and says he can somewhat understand Congresswoman Marcia Fudge's decision to boycott.
Her candidate lost, and it's hard to party with the people who won. I mean, I understand that.
Many of our Facebook followers sounded off with strong opinions about Fudge's decision to stay home. Eric posted, "This is why our country will stay divided when a person that is elected to rep the people puts their self first." While Melissa wrote, "Thanks for standing up for what you and so many of us supporters believe in." Falcone said he was looking forward to the Trump administration and hopes people will learn how to give the president-elect Donald Trump a chance.
And then listen to what he has to say and what he can do to change America.
On this Martin Luther King Jr. Day, President-elect Trump hosted King's son at Trump Tower. Martin Luther King III told the media he thinks his father would be very concerned that 50 to 60 million people live in poverty and hopes Trump will focus on them.
Jasmine Monroe in the newsroom, thank you so much. And the president-elect will enter the White House with an approval rating of 44%. That is the lowest rating since Gallup began measuring that category back in 1992. The previous low was President George W. Bush. He had 61% approval when he took office in 2001. President Obama had an approval rating of 83% on Inauguration Day 2009.
And Mr. Trump's inauguration will be an historic week in more ways than one as cities across the country hold rallies for women's rights. Andrew Horansky is live in Cleveland tonight to explain what's happening here. Hi, Drew.
Hi, Sarah. Well, on Donald Trump's first full day in office, there will be hundreds of thousands of people converging in Washington, D.C., while here in Cleveland, there will be more than 1,000 marching to the Freedom Stamp to send a message. Claudia Pasmatsiou and Laura Johnson admit they've never been political, but something changed in this past election season. That changed them.
Yeah, I think just when the president-elect said that she didn't look presidential, I think that was kind of the one that really sunk into me.
They're not alone. On Saturday, in the spirit of Dr. Martin Luther King and the Million Man March, big crowds will gather in Washington, D.C. for what's being called the Women's March, and it could become one of the biggest demonstrations in U.S. history.
Especially nowadays, women are facing many issues, like issues with equal pay, reproductive rights.
The Case students wanted to go but couldn't, and so decided on the next best thing, joining hundreds of communities holding their own marches, some overseas, organizing a march of their own.
We want to stress out that this is a non-partisan, positive, inclusive event. Everyone who supports women's rights is welcome to participate, regardless of age and gender.
It just kind of blew up, and it's been so exciting. Now we have over 1,000 people, and we're so excited by the enthusiasm we're getting.
They say they only got the idea about a week ago. Now they're getting interest from those who would have gone to Washington, but decided that their voices mattered more here. March will begin at 10 o'clock on Saturday at Public Square, and then there will be the march heading over here to the Stamp, of course, where there will be a rally. The speaker lineup has not yet been announced. We do have more information on Wkyc.com on how you can get involved, including poster making tomorrow night. Back to you.
All right. Thanks, Drew.
Sure.
I have a dream today.
Today, our nation takes time to pause, but also push forward as we remember Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Many spent today honoring the work of the civil rights hero, work that lives on more than 4 decades after his death. Several events took place here in Cleveland. The Cleveland Orchestra invited the public to honor MLK's legacy with a community open house at Severance Hall. The open house featured performances from Cleveland's youth choir and Cleveland Inner City Ballet. Families got a chance to take part in the I Have a Dream wall and book display.
Also in Cleveland today, the 2nd annual MLK dinner and jazz for the homeless. Radio 1 Cleveland and Take 5 Rhythm and Jazz hosted the event on Superior Avenue. They served hot meals to the homeless and some live jazz to go along with that. A look at other service projects held here in Northeast Ohio is coming up on Channel 3 News at 7.
Changing directions, Summa Health System will be changing the way it handles its employee contract renewal plans. This comes after heavy criticism of Summa's decision to replace its emergency room physicians on New Year's Day. In a statement released by Summa's board of directors, the hospital system is to hire an executive coach and will be revising the contract renewal process in order to, quote, avoid a repeat of the recent emergency department transition, end quote. More than 250 physicians voted no confidence in Summa's CEO and its leadership team earlier this month after replacing its ER physicians at Akron City Hospital with just days of notice.
$100,000 gone. The Cleveland Metropolitan School District is taking action after some of its employees were scammed out of their direct deposit paychecks. On Friday, the district discovered those employees fell victim to an email spoofing scam. Law enforcement is now on the case, and forensic work is underway to figure out what happened. In the meantime, paper checks have been issued to the 61 employees affected. Now, we have news of a homicide investigation after a man was found dead in a wooded area in Doylestown over the weekend.
We're learning more this evening, including who that man was. Channel 3's Manny Abraham joins us now from our Akron-Canton mobile newsroom with the very latest. Hi, Manny.
Hello. Yeah, the man whose body was found in Wayne County in what authorities call a brutal attack has been identified as a missing Stark County man. His name, 44-year-old Jeremy Lesh, and he was found and identified. He was found Sunday afternoon, identified today, and he was reported missing actually over the weekend. And police say his family hasn't seen him since late December. Investigators say there's every reason to believe it was foul play. 44-year-old Jeremy Lesh was found in a wooded area behind Saints Peter and Paul Church. A woman told police she was on a walk with her dog when she came across the body on Sunday afternoon around 4:30. Wayne County Sheriff's Captain Doug Hunter calls it a brutal attack and believes the man was not killed in the woods, but rather another location. Authorities say Lesh was reported missing by his family on January 14th, but the last time he was seen was around Christmas. Of course, it is an ongoing investigation, and authorities haven't released many details or even any suspects identified in the case. Back to you.
Amanda, we bring this up because earlier in the day there were questions as to whether this body was that of missing Lafayette Township trustee Brian Macron. Do you have any updates in that case?
Yeah, unfortunately, not many updates available in that case. The latest that we know is that officials are currently waiting on results from any forensic tests that have been sent to the BCI and also the FBI, so they are waiting on those results.
Okay, Amanda Abraham, thank you.
New tonight, we have learned a Cleveland police officer is accused of attacking his ex-girlfriend inside her Parma home. The 51-year-old officer, who has not yet been named, is accused of breaking into the woman's home on State Road and attacking her early Saturday morning. Parma police say they're holding the man on felonious assault, domestic violence, and rape charges. Cleveland police say they were made aware of the arrest and will place the officer on unpaid administrative leave.
Akron police are asking for help identifying two suspects in a weekend bar shooting. Officials released these surveillance photos. Two men were injured in the shooting, which happened inside the Clutch Gentlemen's Club on South Arlington Street early Sunday morning. They're now recovering after being taken to Akron City Hospital. Police say the victims were involved in some sort of altercation when those shots were fired. Next at 6, potentially life-saving efforts. How a local officer took matters into his own hands as a car catches fire. Hi, Betsy.
Hi there, Russ. Well, northern Ohio, mild temperatures are coming our way, but so's a lot of rain. We'll have details on how much rain is coming and when it's here straight ahead.
Thanks, Betsy. Plus, Facebook fraud, the scam that has Facebook users thinking they just hit the jackpot, but it could end up costing you. The link to watch out for next.
Ahead for us on Nightly News, the wife of the Orlando nightclub shooter arrested, how authorities believe she is linked to the massacre. We'll take a look at why the circus is leaving town, Ringling Brothers calling it quits. And we begin our journey across America in Sacramento, hearing the hopes and concerns of Americans as we make our way to Washington for the inauguration. All we see you back here tonight for NBC Nightly News.
Hello. Good. Hello. Oh, we got a showdown tonight. The Cavs and Warriors out at Oracle Arena. But first, coming up at 7, we'll talk with a longtime Cavs beat writer, Bob Finnan, about his new book, 100 Things Cavs Fans Need to Know and Do Before They Die. Also, at 7, has your house been nice and toasty on these cold days? If not, there may be some things you can do to warm it up and save money at the same time. That's what we do at 7.
You have 4 VOs? I have 3 VOs. Hello? Hi. 3 VOs. You tossed to me on camera, and then who do I toss back to? Russ.
I can carry you if you want.
Come on, walk. Can you walk with the man? Come on, we're just going to walk back this way.
A Wadsworth police officer is being recognized for his efforts to save lives. Wadsworth posted this dashcam video on its Facebook page, and it shows Officer Cody Lamel helping 2 women stopped on the side of State Route 57 with mechanical issues in their truck earlier this month. The officer ended up carrying the elderly woman away from the scene just before the front of the car burst into flames, you see there. After he made sure the 2 women were safe, he called for backup from police and fire.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. To the downside of Facebook and the upside of Amazon.com, let's take a look at some of the top consumer stories making news today.
Here's our investigative consumer reporter, Danielle Serino. Hi, Danielle.
Hi, and you thought fake news stories were all you had to worry about on Facebook these days. Nope, there's another scam making the rounds, a very enticing offer that could end up costing you a lot of money. It starts with a friend request. It could be from someone you know or a complete stranger, and that so-called friend claims they've received grant money and you should contact the grant agent to claim your cash. You even get to choose how much money you get, like $200,000, but you have to pay a processing fee to get the cash, and that's around $1,000. Bottom line, you can't get money from anyone just by paying a fee. It is a fraud. But this is the real deal. Amazon.com is going to accept food stamps through its Fresh Direct service this summer. It's part of a 2-year pilot by the feds to get healthy foods to urban and rural communities that may not have access to them. It's not in Ohio yet, but the program is supposed to roll out nationally once the USDA works out payment and security issues. Now, you know privacy is an issue with all internet sites, but you may not have expected it with the website FamilyTreeNow.com. People use it to research their ancestry, but they can also find out very personal information about you, like the names of your distant relatives, past roommates, past boyfriends, and any of your old addresses. Other websites make you pay to get this info here, but it's free. You can remove yourself, though. Put your name in, scroll to the bottom, and click Privacy. Then go to their opt-out link. And within a day, you should be off the site. I posted some more tips on protecting your online privacy. Just head to my Facebook page. And that's a wrap of today's consumer headlines, Russ.
Wow, Danielle, a lot of stuff going on. Thanks a lot.
Well, after 146 years of spectacle, surprise, and showmanship, the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus closing up shop. For the first time, the owners are talking about why they made this difficult decision. They point to a 10-year decline in attendance and a decision to retire those beloved and controversial elephants.
This is not a win for animal rights activists, nor is it a win for anyone. The over 400 people that are impacted is what we care about first and foremost, and it's unfortunate.
The owners say they will look for good homes for the animals, and they're working to help those hundreds of performers and other employees who will lose their jobs.
Back home now, the third annual Ice Fest exhibit returned to downtown Cleveland today, with plenty of live ice carving demos and more than 20 majestic ice creations. I wonder if the ice desk, remember that, made it down there. It was pretty majestic. Ice Fest at North Coast Harbor is a free event, and for the first time ever, it partnered with the Great Lakes Science Center and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
We haven't needed an ice desk this year yet.
No.
It would be a puddle.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
It's cool.
It is. And today was a great day for that because we had some sunshine. It was in the 30s, so the ice didn't melt too quickly, but things are going to be changing in the next 12 hours. So overnight, believe it or not, temperatures are actually going to start to rise, and you can see there that we have rain showers that will also be moving in. So mid-30s initially, and then the mercury will start to get into the 40s by the time the day gets going tomorrow. So do expect not only to need the rain jackets, but you may need a little bit of a light jacket for those periods when it's not raining as well. Now, along with the rain, we are also getting a lot of moisture pumping in, some warmer temperatures, and we've got some fog potential setting up. Now, there's dense fog advisories in northern Indiana, and we may see that expand into parts of western Ohio, but as of right now, as all of this is starting to come together, the rain is actually going to help us out in this case. It kind of helps to alleviate the fogginess. So from time to time, we will have fog that sets up. Keep that in mind. You can see 6 a.m. temperatures are going to be in the 40s, but we could have some areas of fog. So if you have a long drive, a long commute tomorrow, you may be coming and going through various visibilities. But it does look like overall the visibilities will improve as we go through the day tomorrow. Now let's talk about this radar because we do have some rain showers that are moving through at this hour, and we'll continue to see these rain showers on and off as we go through the evening. Most of this is farther to the south of Cleveland. We've had some light rain that moved through, even a little bit of a mix in some places was reported. But all in all, the showers are expected to continue to move from southwest to northeast. So you can see this one shower out here by Lodi. That's going to move right up over Medina, Sharon Township, Hinckley, and then on toward the Richfield area. More showers down around Canton, and that will move out toward Louisville. This is not flooding. That's good news. But then that will continue off into the Youngstown area as well as we head through the remainder of the night. For now, that's all there is. But there's plenty more rain to the west that is still to come. You can see this swath of rain that is all across the tri-state region to our west. That will continue to move in. Even a few rumbles of thunder will be possible. But overall, the temperature profiles are not looking like we have any major swings coming. If anything, we have a boosting temperature scheme that's setting up as a southwest wind develops, and that'll help to drive in some warmer temperatures as we go through the day tomorrow. That starts tonight with our rising temperatures. 9 p.m. temps, we're still in the 30s, and here comes that rain by midnight across much of northern Ohio. We'll continue to have rain, could be heavy at times, and you may even hear a few rumbles of thunder, but temperatures by daybreak tomorrow will be in the upper 40s. We'll continue to have periods of rain through the morning commute, and then by midday, it looks like we should start to see that breaking up a little bit. Some dry air begins to punch in, but look at the wind speeds here. Winds have increased to 20 miles per hour for the afternoon, so it will be breezy, but it's also going to be mild as we're going to hold it in the upper 40s to near 50. Now, how much rain is coming? Well, it all depends upon location and who gets what, but for the most part, most of us will be receiving between a third and 1 inch of rain. So just keep that in mind. We're going to have a lot of puddles to contend with tomorrow morning. Maybe one of those days you want to take a few extra minutes to go ahead and leave the house early. Here is a look at your Window Nation forecast as I fade off into the distance. We'll be in the mid-50s for the afternoon, and then a little cooler for the day on Wednesday as that system departs. Maybe a little rain snow mix in the morning. But partly cloudy skies take over for Thursday, but we'll be dry, and then here comes rain on Friday. That will leave us on Saturday. We have a chance for rain coming Sunday, but look at those temperatures. I mean, we're in the 50s here. This is a nice, mild kind of a stretch that we have going on. Don't be fooled, people. It's still only mid-January. I'm sure we're going to end up getting more snow, more cold for our beloved winter friends.
Plenty of time. All right, thanks, Betsy.
Couldn't help but add that on, could you, Betsy?
Just got to cover our bases.
Keeping it real, that's right. Coming up, as Jimmy told us, the Cavs wrap up their road trip tonight against the Warriors in front of a national audience.
We hear from LeBron on the matchup straight ahead.
Prescott and the other guy? Yeah.
And now, the Kia of Bedford and Hyundai of Bedford Sports Report.
Jimmy's here, what you call a marquee matchup out west of us.
Finally, right? I mean, let's face it, everybody, all right? The NBA's regular season, I mean, a snoozer, isn't it? Except for a couple of instances, and tonight is one of those nights. The Cavs and Golden State Warriors round 2. Remember, they played on Christmas Day, and the Cavaliers ended up winning that game. But tonight, they're at the Oracle Arena. But on Christmas Day, the Cavs came from 14 back in the fourth quarter and broke the hearts of the Warriors again. Kyrie Irving hit that fallaway jumper, and the Cavs won 109-108. But all of a sudden, the Cavs against Golden State, they have won 4 in a row, and 2 of them have been out there, and that's where they are tonight. Despite all of that, LeBron says Golden State is still the best team in the NBA, and this is not a rivalry.
I don't think we have a rival in our game today. We've had 2 great finals appearances the last 2 years, but I had the same with the Spurs. You know, when I was in Miami, we weren't rivals. I think I played those guys more, so I want to look at it as rivals.
Golden State does, though. I mean, they really want to win this one tonight, and they are an 8-point favorite to win at home tonight. They have the best record in the NBA. None of that means anything, though, after what happened to them last year. I mean, they won like 73 games last year, and it still didn't work for them in the finals. Anyway, they're 34-6. They score a ton, 117.5 points per game. And here's Ty Lue on the Warriors.
They lost 1 or 2 games early, and everybody went crazy. But, you know, once they figured it out, you know, they've been playing lights-out basketball. And, you know, to beat teams the way they've been beaten, the point differential has been crazy. So, you know, the biggest thing with those guys is, you know, their team, they play every night. You know, they don't rest. They play every single night, and they're ready to go.
All right, here we go into the not-so-way-back-when machine. Do you remember this? June 19, 2016. Russ and Sarah, you probably did not see this. Weren't you on the top of a building when this happened, when the Cavaliers won Game 7? I believe, weren't you in Alaska, Betsy, when this happened? Anyway, the Cavs won the championship in Game 7, a night none of us will ever, ever forget. Browns news, 2 new hires on the coaching staff today, and none of them were named Vince Lombardi, okay? So hold the phone on this one. Here we go. Here are the names now, as we'll meet Blake Williams. The new defensive coordinator's name is Williams, too. That's right. That's his son. This is his son, Blake Williams. He is going to coach with the linebackers. He has coached with his dad a number of times, in fact, 5 times, since Greg Williams has been bouncing around the NFL. Also hired today to be the assistant defensive backs coach, Jared Cruzy, former head coach at William Jewell and the associate head coach at Southeastern Louisiana. He also has had an affiliation with Greg Williams and his son, Blake. Under the category of it could have been us, the Chicago Cubs were at the White House today, and this was rushed by President Obama. In his dwindling days of being in office, he wanted the Cubs to come while he was still in office, and so they arrived today. And President Obama said, boy, I'll tell you what, this Theo Epstein guy, he can build teams. He ended that 86-year drought in Boston with the Red Sox and 108-year drought with the Cubs.
His job is to quench droughts. 86 years in Boston, 108 in Chicago. He takes the reins of an organization that's wandering in the wilderness. He delivers them to the promised land. I've talked to him about being DNC chair.
That's hardball for tonight.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So,
he was terrific with them, I'll tell you what.
I just want to say you broke some news tonight. Vince Lombardi is not available. Is that what you're saying?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay. Just check it. Thank you, Jimmy.
I mean, I check every day. He's not.
Jimmy and Betsy back at 7.
The NBC Nightly News is next, live in Sacramento tonight. We'll see you later.